The whole concept of meritocracy is a whole load of BS to me, and I'm going to tell you guys why in this video. So, what is the idea of meritocracy? It basically refers to hard work being needed in order to achieve a set thing. So, back in the days, you would know everything mattered. You know, having a degree, having experience, having so and so. And while some of these still apply to this day, it's not as significant as you think. Nowadays, you see people climbing up all the way to the top when they had absolutely nothing. The main reason is because people, guys, work smarter, not harder. And this is why some people make it and some people don't. But yeah. First of all, if you're new to my channel, I'm Suzu. I'm an ex-animator, but I do gaming videos now. And it's nice to meet you. Okay, now back to the video. You have to understand that it's all about strategy. It's all about discipline. It's all about ensuring we're 1% better than we were yesterday, you know? So if you just keep doing something each day, it doesn't work, you know? And I always mention the student example. If you're revising for a test but nothing sticks, it's not going to work, so you have to change your strategy. You're effectively doing the same thing, you're just doing what works for you. Like, I'm gonna be real with you guys. When I used to study, right? Flashcards was something so many people liked, and it was fun to write on cards. It was really fun because I was like, oh, whoa, it looks so cool. But it never worked for me. Never stuck to my head, never did anything, but I know it worked for some people, and then I realized it's just not for me. So you change your approach, but you have to know that everything you do in your life is intentional. So if you want something, you have to find different ways of attaining it. And as much as I wish hard work kind of was the reason why, I'm also glad it's not, because there's also less competition with people who do things in a certain way. That's why whenever you see successful people or however many people, you always see people say the 1% does this. Because they do things that most people don't do, therefore they end up with consequences most people don't have. Not consequences, outcomes, that's the word. This person's a prodigy, this person's whatever. It's all about how much better you can become through practice, because someone can just be like, okay, I'm really good at this, but there's always going to be someone fighting for the top. There's always going to be someone trying to do better each day. You need to do that. And that's why whenever I've scoured through the internet, being 1% better is probably one of the most realistic advices I could take, yet something that doesn't feel overwhelming. So being 1% better does not essentially mathematically have to be catered down to, oh, I'm 1% better. That's it. No. Being 1% better is just showing you can actually do something better than what you did yesterday, for example. Because you're doing something and you're guaranteeing a better outcome. So if you are someone who likes to do content, for example, and you make a video, if one video sucks, happens by the way, especially if you're starting out, and your next video sucks less, you know, you don't jump from being awful to amazing, then you understand that that's your 1% improvement. And how do you know if you've actually improved? Is your retention better? Are people clicking on your videos? Are you getting more comments? You know, all of that stuff. It all contributes to whether you're doing better. And that's why you guys need to understand that you need something realistic to help. Oh my god, am I stuck? Am I stuck? Oh no, am I stuck? Okay, wait. We can do this. There we go. We gotta be 1% better, guys. Okay, so that's what you have to do. Is it easy? Pfft, nope. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it, but not everyone does it. You know, people say it's very competitive. I'll be honest with you, and here's a secret. I don't think it's as competitive as people make it. Hard work people, you know, people who are really putting their all into it, okay, that's competitive. But strategy, discipline is not competitive. How many people in your life do you know who are actually disciplined, who are actually doing stuff, who are actually living the life you want to live? Yeah, I thought so. That's exactly what it is. I define success in a way, and if people cannot conform to it, or if they can't, they won't understand me, and that's fine. The only thing is, people have very different standards of what success is. Success for me is good mental health as well. Like, that's definitely part of it. If I have something which is seen as incredible to the world, but I feel like absolute garbage, I feel like I'm losing. And faith is another word. Like, if I'm going a single day without remembering my faith or religion, for example, this is why it's personal, then I consider myself a loser. Like, everything is relative to me. So yeah. And I think that a lot of us are so focused on the idea of hard work that we're just thinking we need to beat ourselves up, like if we don't get something done. No thanks, I don't want to ice skate. Get me out of here. But yeah, why is it saying fish up? No. Unless this just becomes the ocean, whatever. But yeah, guys, it's something that we just have to get out of our system, okay? Like, you guys do not have to quote unquote work harder. You don't have to beat yourself up if something doesn't work. If anything, it's stupid and it's not going to help you get anything. If you really want to achieve the big stuff in life, at least to your standards, then you have to do everything you have not been doing. And that's another thing, the inverse effect. So let's say that for a test you're not revising. Let's say that for a chapter you're using something that doesn't actually work for you. So what are you supposed to do instead? You do something different, and then you get a different outcome. A seahorse? Oh, that's interesting. It just turned into thin air. Usually it appears. What's going on? Okay, it's fine. I'm probably gonna get another one. At least it's not a shrimp. Please don't be a shrimp. They're scary. But yeah, that's a big fish. But these ones are hard to catch. Anyway, it's all about showing up for yourself and being better. Because when you are 1% better, you will eventually be successful. Because if you keep doing the same old again, it's gonna be trash. Like, I'll tell you one advice that a lot of people say, but this is why most people aren't that successful. So people say consistency is key, right? I think we've heard of that a lot. But you know what the problem is? If you have a heap of trash and you keep adding to that heap of trash, that's not going to become treasure. That's just going to be a bigger headache and a bigger piece of trash. So if you decide, you know what, I'm going to change or alter something, it becomes more valuable. And if you stack that value on top of other value, that's when it becomes more promising. So I'll give you guys more of an example. You know, with my content, I looked at my old videos. I used to think that was my treasure. I used to think they were so good because I was like, oh, I made a video and it sucks. Okay. So when I see my videos now, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Hell no. There's still always so much to work on. But you could say that I think I've been 1% better with each upload. Even if I feel like some uploads aren't the best, it's okay, you know. And growth is never linear as well. This is another thing I had to learn the hard way. Because I'm thinking, I got better this time. Why do I suck now? Did I go backwards? No, growth is not linear. And if it was, everything would be so easy. But no, it's basically like a frequency. It goes up and down, you know. That's it. Fluctuation. Literally. That's all we have to remember at the end of the day. It's not about consistency. It's about consistency with strategy. So if you are doing this for yourself each day, then you got stuff going for you, and that's amazing. Oh, what am I gonna sell? I'm kidding. I won't sell this. Let's see. 2,000! How expensive is this puzzle piece? What? You know, I don't think I need this much timber. What do I need? 200 worth. Let me vary it a little bit. Oh, I don't need this much paint or dye, whatever. Oh, I think I got way more than I needed, definitely. But yeah, guys, it's all about the discipline. It's all about what you're doing behind the scenes, you know. Like, everyone would tell you, oh, this is what I see you do, this is what I see, but in the dark room, when you're by yourself, you know, just you, your thoughts, your mental health, your whatever, people can't see that. So you decide what you're doing each day. And if you decide that you're going to implement something that's going to help you for future endeavors or whatever, that's when it's gonna change. Okay, so you can make videos, you can make 100, you could do whatever, but if you're not changing something each time, you're not learning. Okay, maybe you have to sound better, maybe you have to sound less dead inside. I know sometimes I do that with my videos, like it's not like I've actually tried to sound dull or try to be fake, but sometimes I've literally just woken up and I'm making a video, so I have to sound like I have not just done that. You heard nothing, guys, you heard nothing. So that's what I also would suggest, you know, be interested in what you're doing, be invested, look invested, you know. And I don't just mean physical appearance, like everything about you should scream, I want this. I'm exuding that success, I'm exuding that discipline, you know. That's something that a lot of us should be working on. And yes, I know it is so much easier said than done, but it's always going to be like that unless you do it. Like, honestly, so many of us make dumb excuses like, oh, it's so hard, oh, it's this. Tough. Life's like that, okay? Life's like that. Like, you gotta understand that. And if there's something you want, you're going to go for it regardless. That's how it is, you know. Life is not gonna just be like, oh yeah, here's whatever. No, mate. No, no, no. You have to just be like, you know what, I want this, so I'm gonna keep going for it, you know. It's like that. And I know so many people would be like, oh, it's snowing and she's not wearing mittens. I'm sorry. I did a crime. Oh, that's kind of something. Because whenever I put the mittens on, it's not. Oh, God. Oh, my gosh. The weather in this game changes quicker than my mood. Okay, let's go and get some new clothes. But yeah, it's all about what you do behind the scenes. Are you becoming better, or are you doing the same old that doesn't work for you? Like, seriously. And no one's expecting an overnight success. That's why they say get 1% better each time. No one's saying get 100% better. Jeez. So I'm gonna go get some new clothes for my character. Hopefully they have good choices. If not, we're gonna run away in disappointment. Hasn't not happened before. Can't even speak. Where am I? Oh, there I am. Oh, I should probably move this. I look a bit unapproachable. Oh, it's this again. I'm not a fan of that. What in the Squid Game is this? Sorry. That's interesting. Yeah, I already have this. Oh, the red is British lady dress. Isn't that something? I have to say, I do like this green. It's cute. But will I wear it is the question. I love this. This is one of my favorite outfits in the game. I think Suzu mostly wears pink anyway. Yeah, I just love pink. Can you guys tell? But yeah, you just have to understand that whenever people say, oh, hard work gets you everything, yes, to an extent, when you work hard to chase your dreams, but you have to understand that with strategy, there's less competition. And with less competition, there's more clarity, there's more calmness. I don't know what I'm trying to achieve here, but let's see. Ah! Okay. But yeah, that's the thing. I believe that people can actually get their goals if they just implement discipline in their lives and an actual plan, you know, something that cannot fail. Oh, I physically cannot go. I could go on this, but I can't go on the roof. Wow. I don't get this game sometimes. I went through that. Okay. But yeah, that's how I see it. And a lot of people say, oh, that's an unrealistic way of thinking. But let me be real. Why are there successful people in this world? Seriously. Isn't that realistic to them, living a good life like that? So why are people trying to raid on my parade? Like, hello? But yeah, I just thought of making a video like this because I think everyone is capable of chasing their dreams. And speaking of chasing dreams, I have something else I want to say before signing off with this video. I have a coffee page and I am trying to raise $3,000 by the end of April. I will also be giving a fair amount of this, possibly 1,000, to those in need, such as those in Palestine, Sudan, and in crisis. I just want to say a big thank you to anyone who watches and interacts with my videos. And you must be wondering what this money is for. This money is to help me stay sustainable on this channel because I make videos as best as I can. However, at the moment, I am only taking commissions as it is not possible for me to do anything else, but I'm still trying my best with this channel regardless. So if you could guys support me, even just a $5 bill, whatever, everything counts, everything compounds. And also, the best part is, if you do support me for however much you give me, you'll receive 50% off my commissions plus an additional 20% for your first ever order with Suzu Tales. So yeah, guys, without further ado, I am going to sign off now. Go chase your dreams, go do amazing things, be amazing people, as I know you guys already are. I can't really do the peace thing like Infinity Nikki, so let's do peace. And I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.